Des, I mean, he got paid last summer. For that, Jaren got paid. You're next up on the clock. It sounds like the Grizzlies are, you know, prioritizing getting that done with you. How important is it for you to get that done this summer, I guess, before next season?
I mean, until the pen touches the paper, nothing's really in stone. But I'm super excited. Hopefully to be able to get something done this summer. A lot of work's went into this for sure, but more importantly, I'm just thankful to be here in Memphis, be a part of the Grizzlies organization, and hopefully be able to set up something, here for a while and win a championship while doing it.
Des, you've talked time and again about being a student of the game and learning from both this team and history of the league. I'm just curious, how tough will it be to watch the rest of this playoffs, knowing that you got to a certain point in your game where you felt comfortable with in the last couple of games, but also knowing that you guys aren't a part of it right now? How much of a challenge would it be to watch and continue to learn during the playoffs?
Yeah, it's always hard. Last year, bits and pieces, I was able to catch, of course. So, yeah, it'll be hard. They were asking me about the game last night, and I didn't even watch a single second of it. I'm sure I'll be able to pull myself to watch a game or two here and there, but at this point, it's about us and, reflecting on the season that we had and what we can do better. But like you said, it's still important to learn from others, so I'm sure I'll watch a little bit, but, it's not something that I'm really looking forward to doing.
After you came back from your toe injury middle of the season, how much did that continue to bother you or impact your play or the way you had to play? And is there anything going into the summer that you're going to have to deal with as far as that goes?
Yeah, when I first came back, it was it was real tough. I didn't know what I was going to look like, what the rest of my season was going to look like. And we got to a place where I was comfortable enough, to be able to continue and play. As far as anything this summer, those decisions are still up in the air. After talking to some doctors and, kind of hashing those things out, I'm sure we'll reach a middle ground and make a decision here soon.
Des, I know it's only been 48 hours and the season didn't end the way you want, but how would your reflections be on this season in totality?
We went through a lot. This is probably one of the craziest basketball seasons I've ever been a part of. Jaren was hurt to start the year. It was my first injury that I've ever had, and had to miss significant time. A number of other guys hurt, so it definitely had its ups and downs, but, I thought that we stayed positive through it all, kept our spirit, still found a way to get the 2 seed, and obviously, we weren't healthy in the playoffs and didn't play our best basketball, but there's always things you can learn from, good and bad. So I'm excited for the off season, and looking forward to, building on what we've done here these last 3 years.
Colin.
Hey, Des. So, when you're facing LeBron James and the Lakers like that, and you have that spotlight on you, and you see what what people are talking about. Do you guys keep receipts going into the off season, and is that just more motivation? How they push out content just talking about how brash you guys are?
It's all motivation. Just simply losing a playoff series, being involved in a playoff series. There's a lot of time that gets invested into that, a lot of effort, energy. So I think that there definitely will be some I don't want to call it bad blood, but just some tension there. moving forward. I mean, just as it is with every team we play in the playoffs.
Des, when you look back, especially in that game just a couple games ago, when you and Ja and Jaren go off, and you realize the nucleus, the young core of this team is the three of you, how exciting is it for next year and then a couple of years down the road of how good the three of you can make this team, and vice versa, if the three of you are all playing well at the same time, what it can mean for the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with us. You know, I mean, we had our interviews and our meetings today, and you know, that was apparent. You know, with everybody that we talked to, that we're going to be the ones to drive this thing and really push it to new limits. So, you know, our preparation for next season starts today. You know, putting our best foot forward, whether that's, you know, whatever your off season looks like, whatever cards you're dealt, you know, do the best that you can with it. And, you know, it's going to take 1 through 17. Like I said, obviously we're the driving factors, but, you know, you saw it from a number of guys this year. Santi improved. David Roddy improved throughout the season. I expect Zaire to have a big summer and come back and be able to help us next year. You know, so those young guys, Jake, they're all going to have to take a step, you know, and be better. And I'm looking forward to spending time with them here this summer.
Des, so both Taylor and Zach, you know, they want to build a better system around you and Ja and Jaren, both sides of the floor, but specifically offensively, what are some things that you identified that stood out to y'all with half-court offense, but also that y'all could improve upon in that area as well?
I think shooting is always going to be the key. I mean, especially when you have players like Ja Morant, who's, you know, dynamic in the open space, and Jaren, a guy who commands double teams in the post. The more shooting that you can put around guys like that, the better. You know, we got to be able to defend and make shots. You know, those are the teams that usually win and play the longest this time of year.
Just curious, what does the summer look like for you in terms of, you know, with the foot, and like how much time do you take off when you plan on, you know, really ramping back up, and just the things that you're emphasizing, working on as part of your game?
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be based upon the decisions and the conclusion that we get to with the doctors. You know, whatever that decision is will then impact, you know, what my summer looks like. But whenever, you know, that time is when I do start ramping up, you know, I want to just become the best, you know, well-rounded player that I can. You know, I feel like I took a step in that direction this year, being more than just a shooter, but I think getting in the best shape that I can get in.
You're going to be a free agent this summer. What do you think about the chances that you could be back here next season?
I think they can possibly be good. I'm leaving that, you know, to my agent, Mike George, to handle that. And me just focus on the summer, focus on what I can get better, focus on how I can, you know, contribute to getting better.
Dillon, just how do you evaluate this season for you in totality?
You know, new role. You know, I got better at, you know, being on the defensive side, taking more of, you know, ownership on that side. Seeing how, you know, the seasons can go up and down, regardless of trying to keep an even keel, and knowing that, you know, I got to get better, you know, shooting the basketball.
DB, do you regret the comments made after Game 2 with how it then evolved into this huge wave of putting the spotlight on you and your team, and whether or not it, you know, geeked up LeBron or whatever, but do you regret making those comments after Game 2?
No. You know, that's who I am. You know, I don't regret it. I'm a competitor. I compete. You know, I don't think it got LeBron geeked up. You know, is he back in the playoffs? It's been a little while, so I think, you know, he was ready to play. And overall, we just got beat by a better team, bigger team. Guys that have their whole team, their whole pieces there. And, you know, I'm just going to, you know, continue to be me and get better at what I do.
Hey, Dillon, do you think the perceived perception of you takes away from what you actually do on the court?
I only think it takes away from, you know, what calls have been made or, for instance, like the flagrant foul.